Okay, good afternoon, class. Let's go ahead and discuss homework number 16, trigonometry. Let's see here. Find the value of each trigonomic ratio. That is our goal here, right? Find the value of each trigonomic ratio. Very nice. So number one says the sine of A. What is the trigonomic ratio of sine of A? Well, as you know before, remember SOHCAHTOA. In this part, we're going to remember the SOA part, right? Which states that the sine of some angle, right, is equal to opposite O, right, over H, which is hypotenuse. So all I got to do is simply just look at this shape. You know, if A is this one, put my theta there. All I got to do is say opposite, which is this side, the side farthest from d theta, over hypotenuse, which is this side. The longest side is hypotenuse always. So that's 21 over 29. And honestly, I think that's already reduced. You're good. But even if we didn't, even if that was reducible, you don't have to worry about reducing since you don't have a calculator, so don't sweat it, and that's good. So no problem. That's number one. Let's go on to number three. Number three says the tangent, right, of theta is equal to what over, well, it says what's the tangent of C? Well, the formula is tangent of theta, right, tangent of some angle is equal to, well, TOA over A, so that's opposite over adjacent, right, opposite over adjacent. So let's look at this sides and see if we can spot those. First things first, the theta is at C, that's our angle, which means that opposite has to be this one, and adjacent is the one close to it. Not this one, because that one's actually the hypotenuse, right? The hypotenuse is the longest side. Don't get those confused. So I'm going to say here, then, which is equal to what over what? The opposite is 24. The adjacent is 18. And that's good enough. All right, don't worry about reducing. I know you could do that easily with your calculator. Let's move on to number 5. Number 5, a tangent of A, which is this one right here. Tan theta is equal to SOHCAHTOA, so opposite over adjacent, which in this case scenario happens to be this one and this one. So there is our opposite and our adjacent, which is equal to 28, our opposite, over the adjacent of 21. There is our answer. Very good. And I didn't reduce because, you know, I don't have a calculator. I don't want to. I'm too lazy also. All right, cosine. Cosine of some angle is equal to, so ka is adjacent over hypotenuse, right? Adjacent over hypotenuse, which is, let's see here, that's our theta is A, so theta goes right there. Adjacent is this one right next to it, not the one right here, because that right there is hypotenuse, and this is the opposites, right? Well, we want the adjacent and the hypotenuse, so I'm going to say, all right, cool. Adjacent, 24, hypotenuse, 26. Bam, there's your answer. Very good. All right. Number 9. Tangent. The tan of some angle is equal to, well, let's see, the theta is at Z, right? So I'm going to do tan is SOHCAHTOA, TOA is opposite over adjacent. And identify those. This is my opposite. That's easily my adjacent. Very, very nice. Which comes out to be tangent of Z is then going to equal 32 over, right, because that's our opposite, over 24, our adjacent. Nicely done. Okay. Let's go on. 11 is sine of theta. So that's OH, opposites over H, hypotenuse. All right, we're going to identify those. Our theta is currently at X still. So I'm going to say this is our opposite. This is our adjacent. That's our hypotenuse along this side. All right, so opposite, 36. Hypotenuse, 45. That's your answer. Not too easy. The sine of X is equal to 36 over 45. Now, on the back page, we move things around. It's not in that nice, pretty orientation. They're all flipped upside down and so on. So if I say cosine of x, the theta in this case is right here, right? If that's there, then that means this is your adjacent because the other guy right here is your hypotenuse because he's the longest side, right? That's your longest side right there. He's your hypotenuse, which makes him have to be your opposite. Now, let's look at the problem. It says cosine of x. Well, cosine of any angle is equal to so adjacent over hypotenuse, right? So I'm going to say cosine of x is going to be equal to adjacent, which is 12, over hypotenuse, which is 37. Really easy, right? Which leads us to say, what's the answer right there? Moving on. 15. Sine of some angle. So is opposite over hypotenuse. Right? Now the theta in this case is at C. You can put that right there. And identify this side my hypotenuse because it's the longest side. This is the side closest to it, so adjacent. And over here, opposites. All right, so opposite 21, hypotenuse 35. There's our answer. Sine of C is equal to 21 over 35. Very nice. Look at number 7. Number 7 says the tan of Z. I put my theta right there, right? So, the tan is TOA, so tangent of some angle is always equal to opposite over adjacent. So I'm simply just gonna say, let's see here, that's my theta, it's my hypotenuse then. This will have to be my adjacent because that's the one really close to it, right? And this is my opposite, which is farthest away. All right, which means what's over what? The tan of Z is equal to opposite, which is 20, over adjacent, which is 21. Bam, there's your answer. 19. Cosine of any angle, so adjacent over hypotenuse, right? So I'm going to say then the cosine of Z has to be equal to adjacent. Whoa, we got to put my things down for that. There's my theta at Z, right? Which means that's my hypotenuse. That's the easiest spot, right? The longest side. And this must be my adjacent because it's right next to the angle. And this will be my opposite. All right, so cosine of Z is equal to adjacent, which is 8, over hypotenuse, which is 17. And there's my answer. Very nice. Last but not least, 21. The tangent, TOA, of some angle is equal to opposite over adjacent. Our tangent, excuse me, our theta, is at A, which makes this our hypotenuse, and this is our adjacent, and the farthest one away is your opposite side. Very nice. So the tangent of A is equal to opposite, which is 32, adjacent, which is 24. Very good. Nicely done. Next problem. Last one, too. All right. The sine. The sine of any angle SOA is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, which in this case, there's our theta sine, right? So I'm going to say the sine of A is equal to the opposite, which is 7, over hypotenuse, which is 25. And there you have it. Last one done. Nice. All right, guys. Hope that was helpful. Y'all have a good rest of the afternoon. Adios.